All right, what's up, YouTube people? I'm in Lima, Peru. Um, I got in a couple days ago. My first night I spent in a really cheap hotel, it's like $7 or $8. Shared bathroom. The room was hot as heck. Excuse me. It's kind of close. It's in El Centro. It's right across this church of the Iglesia San Francisco. Um, Uh, the internet really was terrible there. A friend suggested it. He said the bathroom situation wasn't too great. My beef wasn't that. It wasn't. Of course, the shared bathrooms weren't that great, but they weren't that bad. But I unfortunately couldn't sign on to my server, and I do a lot of my trades through my server, so I had to leave there as fast as I could. But it wasn't too bad because it was a Thursday, and generally speaking, I'm not placing trades on a Friday, anyways. Usually, I'm closing my book out, anyways. Um, this is just some first impressions of my travel to Lima. I got here Wednesday. I had a little problem in Mexico City. I flew from Mexico City to Lima for about $365 round trip. Um, I almost missed my flight, and it's not really worth talking about, except for the fact I went out of my way to be 2 or 3 hours early, and I got there like 30 minutes before my flight left. And I was really fortunate. I got on the plane. Just an update: if you carry gold coins, I didn't carry like a lot, just a small portion of gold through the Mexican airport to Lima. For people who carry gold, I had a gold coin in one of my belts, and I had a few gold coins in just in my bag, and had no problems at all. Not in Mexico City, certainly not in Lima, Peru. Just to get that ahead, some of my viewers carry gold coins, so I didn't have any problems there. When I went through, I haven't been through the Mexico City airport probably in 15 years. Last time I was in was probably when I flew to the Philippines 15 or 20 years ago, maybe. And I had to take off my belt and all that jazz, but I didn't have to take off your shoes or nothing. It was fortunate I got through their security situation. It was really fast. Another thing is, I only have one page in my passport. Excuse me. I had heard that if you don't have more than two pages, they wouldn't let you on the plane. They didn't even look. So there's no problem there. I was kind of stressed about that, but it worked out. They didn't even look at my passport. And another thing I thought was strange is when I flew out of Mexico City, maybe I went through immigration, but I didn't notice it. They didn't punch my passport with an exit stamp or nothing. So it was pretty awesome. So when I came to Lima, I have a full page and like a few half pages. So there's no problem getting on the airplane. I flew on Avianca. And just for people who are interested, I thought Avianca wasn't a very good airline, but in my experience, flying Avianca wasn't really bad at all. We got like the free dinner type thing, and they give you like beer and wine if you ask for it. And I didn't. I just had some water, and normally I get water or a Coke or something, but I just got water this time. And they, give you the free uh, peanuts and stuff like that. But it was a short flight. It's about 5 hours and 20 minutes. On my ticket, it said like almost 6 hours. I don't know what happened, if there was good flight weather or what, but we got here in 5 hours and 20 minutes, and I was supposed to land at 8:30, and we got here like a little before 8. So I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm glad I got in the city. They have taxis inside the airport, which are kind of expensive, but they're considered the safer taxis. Well, I got a little cheap, really cheap hotel next to the airport. I don't have a video of it, but it actually wasn't bad. It was a shared bathroom type deal. It's $14. You can set it up online so you get a reservation, and there's a few Japanese, I think, yeah, Chinese or Japanese tourists there, and it's pretty mellow. The neighborhood, people say, is kind of ghetto, but to me it didn't seem any worse than anything I've seen in El Salvador. Um, Anyways, the lady who ran this little hostel type hotel, super nice. It was really, the rooms are super nice. They had a fan. Um, she had water and beer for sale, and there's a free breakfast, which wasn't really much, but the bread was really good. I really liked it. But she was a really super nice lady, so that went really well. And then I went the next day to the capital. and I got that cheap hotel for 25 soles, which I don't recommend. I don't unrecommend it. It's just it's hot as heck there, and the internet doesn't work even when you're sitting in the lobby. It kind of works sometimes, but for what I do, during the week I need even if it's slow internet, I need internet to get on my server to do my trades. Anyways, these are just some observations of me traveling from Mexico to Guatemala. I didn't have any trouble with the gold coins I was traveling with. I thought I might, but that's partly why I did this, is to see how it would go. Traveling from Mexico City to Lima, Peru with gold coins. Anyways, no problems there. This is my third day now. I'm in the Grand Hotel. It's a really awesome hotel. It's another shared bathroom. It's double the price. It's about $15-16 a night. You get a sink in your room. That's kind of cool. When I was a kid, I got one of my first apartments. It wasn't really an apartment. It was just a room like this with a sink in it and a shared bathroom, and it was like $280. I think that was back in the early 90s. It might have been the late 80s. Yeah, it was late 80s. And that was Everett, not Seattle. So that might seem cheap, but back then that was kind of expensive for a little place. But back in the day, you could rent kind of apartment, not really apartments, but rooming houses where you share a bathroom. In this case, I had in Everett, Washington. I got one for like, I don't know, it's 200 something. But this hotel reminds me of that. It's really awesome hotel. They have old prints of old famous paintings like in Europe, and they have some cool paintings here. I don't know if they're copies or what they are, but it's really awesome. It's a really great hotel. It's on Abaque and Cusco, and $15 may seem expensive, but it's actually pretty good. The Wi-Fi here is really awesome. Has a really nice bed. It's really quiet. I'm kind of in the interior of the hotel, so it's not really loud. Towards the front of the hotel, they have these wide open windows where you can look out on the streets. It's a main drag, really busy. But where I'm at, it's really actually quiet in the night, and it's really cool. Even though there's not a fan or anything or air conditioning, it's not bad. And the first place I stayed was so hot I just couldn't hardly sleep there. Anyways, first impressions. I met my friend William. He took me around today to Miraflores, El Centro. We went to El Centro. That's kind of cool. He showed me the Chinatown. His wife had mentioned it. It's really cool, and it's actually pretty neat. I got a couple of empanadas. I'm not sure how you say the word, but they were really awesome. I forget, they're 3 soles or 3.50. Yeah, I think they were 7 soles for 2. I got 2 of them. They were really nice. They're kind of a little bit sweet, and they have the Chinese have really cool bakeries in the little part of Chinatown, and I liked them. You may not like them. Food in the tourist areas or in the nice areas can be kind of expensive, so it's kind of nice to get something like that. And I really enjoyed seeing that. I really enjoyed seeing where you can buy like exotic pets and things like that. I won't get into too much of that since most of my viewers probably aren't interested. So I got to see some of the stuff and get a better idea of how El Centro is and all the things you can do there. And then later on we went to Miraflores. It's really actually pretty nice. There I got it's a turkey sandwich. Oh man, it was awesome. It was 10 soles, and it's really awesome. It's really fantastic. I mean, that's about a little over $3, but it was really nice turkey. I mean, really nice turkey sandwich. I really enjoyed it. We went to Parque Kennedy, I think. A lot of places is kind of a whirlwind tour type deal. Saw a lot of places. It's pretty neat. They have a lot of places you can buy computer batteries. For the life of me, I couldn't find a computer battery in Guatemala for my computer, but there I think I can actually find one. Anyways, that was pretty neat, and will help me find a place to live. And that I got a really cheap place, so it's under $100 a month. I won't comment on that except to say it's a cheap place to live. Some people say the neighborhood is not great, but to me it reminds me of a lot of El Salvador. It's not, to me, not dangerous. To me it seems quite a bit safer than some of the places in El Salvador I've been, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, so far South America struck me. It's really, to me, quite different than Central America. I really can't comment too much because this has only been 3 days, but here in the city, it kind of reminds me of New York a little bit. People are a little bit more pushy. I'm not saying they're rude or anything, but they're just a little bit more pushy. It's really hot. It's really hot as heck here. That's taking some getting. It reminds me a little of the Philippines or El Salvador. Actually, in some of the bad parts of Lima, excuse me, the capital, it reminds me a lot of El Salvador, except for I would say probably in the bad parts of El Salvador is a little bit more dangerous. I'm not sure why my camera keeps focusing like. But anyways, those are some impressions. There's some like American products you can't really buy here, like you can really easily buy in like Mexico or Guatemala or El Salvador or Honduras. There's a few things like that, but in general, it seems like the people are pretty pleasant, pretty nice. A little bit like New Yorkers, not super aggressive, just slightly for Latins. It seems like people in Mexico and Guatemala are a little bit, they're way more laid back. Here people are really interested in working and getting stuff done. I'll put it that way. Again, this is just an initial impression. This is not like anything. I don't think the whole country is even like this. Taxes are extremely high. The IVA here is 18%. IVA's on everything. It's on houses, it's on food, it's on cars. So if you're going to do business here, you really have to factor that in. That's a really extremely high tax rate for Latin America. There's a few other things. I don't want to comment too much about business because I'm not too familiar with it, but I do know people who do business here, and it can be a tough place to do business as compared to Guatemala. I would take Guatemala or El Salvador or Honduras any day of the week. Things are lightly taxed there. Things are lightly regulated. Things are way more flexible. But again, that's just a generalization. Not everyone's going to come down here and do business. I'm just pointing that out for people who are looking to do a little business. People they're a little taller. The food here, I haven't experienced a lot of it, but what I have experienced, I've really enjoyed. Junk food and like fast food, not exactly my thing, but I experienced some of that. It's a little, in my opinion, overpriced compared to Central America or even Mexico. The one cool thing I liked about eating here is they seem to eat a lot more rice than in like say Guatemala, from what I've experienced, or even Honduras or El Salvador. But so far I like the food. That's about it for now. So I'm gonna like move into my new place tomorrow. If I decide to stay here, I'll make a video on the residency process. It seems complicated, but I don't think it is. Just for what it's worth, I'm no way, shape, or form giving up my old residency or anything. I'm just gonna see how it goes down here, and we'll see what happens. It's just maybe a 2 or 3 month exploratory trip. I have at least 3 months for my ticket. Oh, that's another thing I want to mention. They say they give you a 6-month tourist visa when you come here. My friend advised me to ask for 6 months. I specifically asked him, not just once, but quite a few times. And the immigration was very, very, I don't know how to put this. He does not want people staying here 6 months. He said, there's no way I'm going to give you 6 months. I'll give you 3, but I'm not going to give you 6 months. He was very, very adamant about that. So from that perspective, Peru is not exactly welcoming people staying here, from what I can see. But the residency to get an education visa can be pretty easy, assuming you don't have any legal issues, which I don't have. And tonight I'm drinking the Cristal beer. Last night I had the green one. I forget what it's called, but this one's pretty good. But the Cusco beer, I'm not sure how you pronounce the word, but it's much better. But this beer is not bad. That's one thing I really like about Peru. The beer here compared to Guatemala is really, really great. They have it seems to me, quite a bit of selection. I haven't experienced it all, but as a beer guy, I really like it here. That's another thing I've noticed. There's not a lot of cool coffee shops like in Guatemala or even Mexico, so will take some getting used to. But the beer is good, and I'm gonna experience maybe applying for a visa. I haven't decided yet. I'll let people know if I do, but it does lead to a passport if you're willing to live here 2 years. Excuse me. The education visa and the education. The cost of studying here is really low. It kind of surprised me. I found out today I had misunderstood what the costs were, but it's way less than say Guatemala. I was kind of shocked by that. And to fulfill an education visa, you just need to study for an hour and a half a day. That's it. And there's a few other details I won't mention here. If you contact me privately, I can tell you, but I don't want to say too much here. But it's if you I don't have the exact details, but if you can actually qualify for it, and then you actually go to the school and you need to get the transcripts and stuff like that. That's all you need to do to qualify for the visa, and then you just run out the clock after 2 years. You just apply for your naturalization, and I assume you get the passport. Other people I know have done it. That's what they did, but I can't get super specific because I don't know. I don't want to comment too much, but I found out a few kind of, I don't want to say loopholes, but things that did kind of surprise me. It's not as costly as I thought. Some people say it is, but compared to other countries, it's really not. It's just a matter of putting in your 2 years and getting enrolled in a school. And for that's easy. It's just an hour and a half a day, 5 days a week, I assume, but I'll find out more later. So, anyways, I just want to post this video before I go to bed. I'll, make some more videos about Peru. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here. I haven't even decided if I might go to Paraguay. I don't know. But there's awesome, really, really awesome places to see in Peru. I got a place to live for basically under $100, so that's pretty neat. And where I live is actually there's a really cheap. I say international. What I meant, it was local buses that go all over Peru. And then there's kind of cool because where I live, we'll live, there'll be buses to Miraflores and all the cool places, El Centro and all the kind of cool places here in the city. So it's kind of a good location and super cheap. Most people go to Miraflores, or I think it's San Isidoro. It might not be. I'm very new here, but there's a few other neighborhoods that are kind of in the $400 or $500 range. It depends, I guess, on your comfort level. The place I saw today is nothing different than what I've experienced in the Philippines or in El Salvador. So, anyways, everyone has a different level of comfort, but it actually doesn't even. It actually has a pretty good view of the city. That's actually kind of cool too. But anyways, I'll just wrap this video up. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me what you think. Thank you.